William and his co-pilot Coker are tasked with saving an enigmatic passenger. The trio encounters numerous challenges along the way. However, there's a betrayer amidst these three who had an ulterior motive different from their sole purpose of traveling. What are the challenges? Who is this betrayer? And what's the treachery all about? Are they able to survive and return to base? Shall we dig in to find out? Hello, and welcome to I Am Movies. Through a voiceover, William responded to the letter his dad had written to him. His dad had questioned him in the last letter whether it was responsibility to join the flight. William spoke that they all became responsible the day the Cylons were created. They let them into their lives only to see them repay their trust with a violent revolt. William knew there's a lot of debate why the Cylons hated them. He flew the plane, but encountered some challenges in the air. A man on radio warned him to watch out, stating he got abandoned on his 6. He pressed further on the plane to accelerate. He got instructions from the man on radio to break off, but he declined. A raider clanked against his plane and broke the windscreen, which rendered him no visibility from where he was seated in the plane. The man on radio, with a tone of urgency, told him to return to base, as he can't take that kind of radiation exposure, else he dies in less than 30 seconds. William ignored the warning and flew still, and along his gun was jammed. He heard he had 12 seconds left. He flew on to meet up with the pace of his opposition craft and fired at it. Jenna was impressed with him. She guessed he was fresh out of the academy and had been itching to fly Vipers. Williams knew he got her pegged. She pointed to a direction, saying there was a girl, a plane that's going to give it to it. Williams stood up, followed Jenna's direction, and saw through a screen a big spacecraft with an inscription, Galactica. Williams saw Deke Tornvald, the tiny man who served as the Academy's equivalent of his hero. William identified himself to Jenna's boss as Ensign William Adama. He received a posting to the Galactica crew. Much to his dismay, he was sent in charge of the Wild Weasel, a Raptor cargo ship, rather than a Viper fighter. He initially opposed, but eventually gave in. As his tour of duty was about to finish in 8 weeks, he met his navigator, Coker Fastjovic, who was cynical and just interested in getting out of the military. Adama's desire irritated Coker, who gave him his nickname Husker. Commander Silas Nash, the CO of the Galactica, gave the two a briefing on their first mission together, a routine milk run that involved transferring cargo to the shipyards of the Scorpia fleet and bringing it back with supplies for the Galactica. They were to go for 4 days without coming into contact with any hostile forces, including Cylon ships, SAMs, or slingshots. William complained about not driving what he had hoped for as he walked to the shower. He saw Tornvald and walked straight to him, telling him how he inspired him, but Tornvald told him it was all bullshit. William's colleague made a little mockery of him, and he responded by reminding them the sole reason they were there, which was to kill the enemy and destroy the machines before they destroyed them. A lady and he stretched forth their hands to a towel at the same time, and William quickly surrendered, since she said it was hers. Back to the fleet, Coker and William carried out some inspections while preparing the Wild Weasel for the mission. Adama and Coker found out that their cargo isn't supplies, but a civilian software engineer, Dr. Becca Kelly, who happened to be the lady he met at the shower. The lady introduced herself as Becca, a software engineer, and William introduced himself as her pilot. They departed, but upon leaving Galactica's Dratus range, Dr. Kelly handed them new orders from the Admiralty. She told them they were to rendezvous with the Archeron, a colonial heavy cruiser, in an area bordering Cylon space, and take further orders from her. As they traveled to their destination, Dr. Kelly saw that Williams was having trouble with his band and requested he let her fix it, and while doing this, Dr. Kelly revealed that she used to work for the company that designed them. She went further and said she worked on Cylons, designing the upgrade for the Cylons' MCP brain chip. William was quite disappointed that she helped improve the machines that were killing them. When they arrived at the agreed-upon meeting place, they saw that the Archeron had been ambushed and destroyed. When two Cylon raiders showed there, they attacked the Raptor. The wild weasel nearly evaded the Cylon raider thanks to Adama's hazardous but great flying. Dr. Kelly insisted that they break the radio quiet in order to send a communication, despite Coker's desire to return home. They immediately received a response with yet another set of coordinates. Dr. Kelly informed Adama while they were traveling that she married to the renowned Marine Ezra Barzel, who encouraged numerous young people to enroll at the academy. When they arrived at the coordinates, they discovered a fleet of ghost ships camped out in Cylon territory. These ships were thought to have been sunk during combat. The commander of one of the ghost ships, an older Orion-class battlestar called Osiris, assembled a small fleet for a mission. William told the commander they had bought Dr. Kelly there and volunteered their bird for the mission, but the commander declined his offer, saying they would use their bird. Dr. Kelly requested that William and Coker continue to escort her. Coker overheard the commander say that the other pilots must be volunteered. He is not pleased. They started the journey to Djirba, a former winter resort moon, which Cylons had taken over early and sanctioned Marine recon teams who will take Dr. Kelly the rest of the way to her objective. Lieutenant Jim Kirby, an old buddy of Coker's, who was assumed dead after his ship suffered significant battle damage, was encountered by Coker on the launch deck. Coker responded to Kirby's inquiry about his wife's possible second marriage by saying that she had not and was still caring for their son. Kirby was ecstatic to discover that he is a father. Commander Ozar of the Osiris informed the crew that Dr. Kelly's success in achieving her goal will determine how the conflict would finish as the mission fleet departed. A Cylon base star appeared right after the fleet jumped into Djirba's orbits. As the Wild Weasel and its Viper escorts, one of whom is Kirby, flew into Djirba, the base star and the Osiris engaged in a firefight. Although Kirby declared in the middle of the conflict that he wanted to return home to visit his family, they were being chased by 3 Cylon raiders, which they attempted to destroy. The Cylon base star and raiders, meanwhile, outnumbered the Osiris significantly. The commander made the choice to fly the Osiris into the base star and manually detonate the nuclear armaments when they jammed, destroying both the Cylon spacecraft and the Osiris. The Wild Weasel overturned and landed on Djirba's surface. Coker, Dr. Kelly, and William left the Wild Weasel and hiked through the bitter wind and snow of Djirba while pursuing a signal with Dr. Kelly's encrypted tracking gadget. The recon crew was found dead from unidentified non-artillery wounds, and their transponder was still transmitting when they followed the signal to a sizable cave. They were suddenly thrown into a pitch-black underground cavern as the cave floor collapsed. A big snake-like monster sprang out and bit Coker as strange noises started to surround them. A man rappelled into the chamber and killed the snake as Coker battled to keep the monster under control so Williams could get a nice and clear shot to kill it. They all exited the underground chamber. The only surviving member, Tech Sergeant Talth, was the man's name. He explained that Cylons conducting half-animal, half-machine experimentation produced the snakes that murdered his squad. Toth was somewhat mentally ill and prone to irrational outbreaks of aggression because he had been left alone in the cave for a long time. But he had mapped out a path to Dr. Kelly's destination. After leaving the tunnel, they came to a cliff top overlooking what appeared to be an abandoned ski resort. Toth took William, Coker, and Dr. Kelly into the abandoned ski lodge, where Toth said the Cylons previously stored spare parts. He told Coker to watch his steps as he had rigged the perimeter with mines and tripwires and set up a generator inside to keep heat running. Dr. Kelly later confided to William that her husband was a professor and historian whose status as a war hero was completely fabricated by the colonial army and who did not take out a Cylon platoon. Rather, men from his own unit betrayed him by shooting up his scouting party. She wished that the war end, and William told her he understood her before tenderly touching her. She told him that he was going to regret it, and they slept together. Shortly after, William found Coker skillfully playing a grand piano, and Coker quickly guessed what had happened between William and Dr. Kelly, as he was a bit skeptical about Dr. Kelly and her talk about her husband. Just as he began telling William that Dr. Kelly's objective was more than it seems, one of Toth's mines exploded and Cylon robots approached the compound. Dr. Kelly vanished when the Cylons arrived, so William and Coker explored the property for him. A robot shot Toth numerous times. The spares Toth referenced were probably in the cold storage room Dr. Kelly accidentally. On the other side, William discovered a cyclone and took action to have it destroyed. Dr. Kelly ran inside to avoid the robot, which was altered when she made a loud exhalation. The robot conducted a thorough scan on a microchip tag she wore around her neck rather than murder it. William and Coker burst in, and Coker shot the robot. The Centurion crashed to the floor and emitted a high-frequency wail, which Dr. Kelly explained as screaming, as the Cylons could feel pain. Coker put the robot out of its misery, and the three set off to look for Toth. When Coker wanted to send an evac code, more like a rescue signal for the mortally wounded Toth, William and Dr. Kelly insisted that they continue in the direction of Dr. Kelly's goal. Dr. Kelly finally disclosed her purpose after Coker pressed her for information, saying she would upload a virus to the Cylons' communications array. Dr. Kelly started her upload after they located the array, but Coker shot her and disarmed William when he noticed a battle star on the communication screen, indicating that Dr. Kelly was giving the Cylons information about the Phantom Fleet. Coker believed she was a spy for the Cyclone. She shot Coker multiple times, justifying her treachery by saying that the war can only be ended through negotiations between humans and the Cylons, who, in her opinion, respect life more than humans do. Accepting that Dr. Kelly was a traitor, Williams destroyed the communications unit. He dragged a badly wounded Coker out of the array, leaving Dr. Kelly behind. Before passing out, Coker gave Adama a picture of his wife, while William and Coker waited for a rescue to return them to the Galactic. A quasi-humanoid Cylon questioned Dr. Kelly if she was alive, and if her educated perspective on Cylons lessened their hatred of her before snapping her neck in the communications array. Back aboard Galactica, Commander Nash revealed that the mission, despite appearing to have failed, actually succeeded. Dr. Kelly's treachery was predicted by colonial leadership, and by the time the Cylons received the communication, the Ghost Fleet had already left and had already destroyed a number of undefended Cylon bases. Nash informed William that the Osiris' fatalities were worth the triumph, and that outcomes like these maintained civilian support for the war high effort. William approved a sanitized narrative of the mission after becoming dissatisfied. Then his own Viper was given to him. Before William boarded his ship, a recuperating Coker surprised him with a Husker call sign that is ostensibly a tribute to Coker. William joined the other pilots, prepared to carry on the battle. That brings us to the end of this recap. What do you think about this story? Let us know in the comments section below. We'll love to hear you. Kindly hit the like and subscribe buttons to get updates from us. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the next one.